Hey, babes. Hello, hello, hello. So I am still sick, but that's okay. I'm still, it's just like my throat, my chest. But anyways, excuse me. Um, I was sitting here trying to meditate and ground myself to do a reading for Shamaya, because we dipped again back into the Kanika case, with how I'm doing everything new and la-di-da-di. Okay. So I need to share this with you before I jump into the Shemaiah reading. And I feel like I have to share it with you because I've shared all the rest of the journey with you. So I feel like it's up to me to share this with you because it's only fair. Okay. I got a message, I would say about 3 or 4 days ago, from like a manager from a TV producer, right? Production company. And this is not the first time this happened. I usually decline them. But they wanted to do a documentary basically on Elisa Lam, but not just Elisa Lam, the Cecil Hotel of where she passed away at, right? Now, I read that, and, I was contemplating on it. I was just thinking about it. I wasn't really trying to meditate on it. I went to sleep, and right before I woke up, I had a really bad dream. And it was to the point where as soon as I woke up, I called my hubby, and I shared the dream with him. I told him what the dream was. And basically what the dream was I was walking with what I believe was cat on my chest, like facing, away from me, in like a baby carrier on my chest. And it was a couple of women on the ground by this building, and I looked. Well, there was a girl like standing in my way, and then she playfully moved over, and she was like, I'm just playing. And I was like, I know that's right. And I took Kat's leg, and I was like, hey-ya, just like playing around. And I looked back, and I seen a woman with a baby, but this baby scared the daylights out of me. It was real pale, like death, No, it was like blue. I seen blue, thick veins popping out of the head, and then all of a sudden it started having like a seizure. And I woke up. I was like, what the hell am I dreaming about? So I called hubby, and I was like, babe, why would I dream something like that? That's so bizarre. It felt so real, and it scared the daylights out of me, because anything with children gets me messed up in the head. So he's like, oh, it's just the stuff you be watching on YouTube. Stop watching YouTube. So we laughed it off. And then I hung up with him, and I was thinking more about the email I got. And I was like, you know what, let me look up the Cecil Hotel. So, just to find out what's going on with it. Because I did hear a conspiracy theory from Shane Dawson maybe like a month or so ago. And, they did mention the Cecil Hotel, but I think at that time it was like under construction or something, right? So I just go to Google and I look it up, and it said something like so many like murders and suicides happened. And I was like, oh, shoot. Well, let me read about it. So I was reading this whole passage, right? And it was telling me about like deaths that's been happening since like 1930s. And I mean, it was like so many. I was reading for over a half an hour, and I got to the end, and it said, there was a woman, and her husband was sleeping at the time in the hotel, and she was in the hotel with him, in the hotel room, and she ended up giving birth. She didn't know she was pregnant. She ended up giving birth, and supposedly she said the baby was dead. And she didn't know what to do. She didn't want to wake up her husband, so that means she gave birth silently in like literally the same room. And she threw the baby out the window. Which makes no freaking sense to me because you have to come downstairs anyways, lady. What in the world? Oh my. She was 19 years old, they said. But when I read that, the hairs on my body stood up, and I was like, get out of here. I just dreamt that. I dreamt they were down at the bottom, you know, and the baby was like having a seizure. Like, it didn't look alive, but then it like started jolting around, and it scared me, and I woke up. So I'm figuring, like, just because they sent me that message, now I'm connected to it. Now they're reaching out to me, and I just can't believe that. It was like, I did not know that prior, you know, to that dream. And that it just blows my mind away, you know. But yeah, I wanted to share that with you. I do want to do the Shemaya one, but I'm really, she's been just on my mind. I can't get her off my mind ever since they contacted me. This is Elisa Lamb, and this is not normal, okay? So I don't know if I should interrupt the KJ case, because, you know, I started doing the EVPs, but then I want to go into like the tarot cards and the pendulum with the people who we think may be involved, just to see if we can pick up on their energies and what they're projecting out into the universe, you know. But because we know so many people are possibly involved, and that list goes on for a long time, you know, can we do readings in between this, like in between each person for Kanika's case? Because I mean, this woman is, she's reaching out, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I have to do an emergency reading, you know. But yeah, I love you, babes, and let me know. I don't think I'm gonna do one today. It's almost 5 o'clock now. I have to start cooking and finish my laundry and everything else. But yeah, let me know. I love you, babes. Stop rambling.